both come out with the tag title belts, even though we were told that the powers that be stripped them of the titles.
Right.
Tony though shifts into high gear and he's like he covers for that immediately.
Yeah, he gives up as time goes on. But we'll get to that
He's just
later.
like, they're coming at me with an oversized cell phone. Oh, wait, no, that's a camera.
Yeah, that's
right.
right.
Kidman's got the camcorder. That's right. Because I always feel like the Filthy Animals were like, they were like a personification of like a 90s Green Day song. Like just these lazy kids on the California shore.
They did that, man, with 3 count. And
yeah.
The flock.
3 counts. Silence. They haven't existed yet, and they're awesome when they do.
Did you notice Hugh Morris and Brian Knobbs, they kind of have like this guar thing going? Like
whatever the hell that was. Yeah, on their face.
And Brian, not like, because we all remember Brian Knobbs was quite the technician back in his WWF days. I mean, I don't know how he's going to adapt in this hardcore style because
That's true.
You know, hey,
no one did an armpit scrub better. It's like Hogan's leg drop. That was it. He's who you think of.
But this
Weird seeing Knobs with another guy.
That's the
I was
thing.
wondering if you were thinking that. Because that's so weird to me.
Because like,
and with Jimmy Hart.
which
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, how are you the first family? Aren't you just the Dungeon of Doom?
That's right, yeah.
I mean, these were. It's.
But anyway, so this match is a street fight.
yeah, falls count anywhere.
It's a
2
street,
refs.
well, yeah. Yeah, I love the 2 refs thing because, you know, there's going to be a clusterfuck in here somewhere. But right off the bat, there's a rope break.
This is a huge pet peeve of
This is
ours,
number
all
2.
of ours.
Yeah.
I know.
There's no rope break and no disqualification because if you have a guy in a submission hold and he grabs the rope and there's a rope break, why would you ever let go?
The one thing I admire is at least that Knobbs and Morris know what the match is, and they're like, "Oh fuck it, we're getting weapons right now."
away.
Everyone else is like, "Oh, we'll get a little collar elbow tie up."
So, did you plan? Nope. Fuck, we're getting hit with chairs.
And the weapons, like those, they did not look gimmicked at all. The trash cans look like real trash cans. Like it's
Knobs is winded in 2 minutes. Did you notice that?
He did
was
run and
done.
just steal some trash cans. Yeah. There's possibly AIDS-infected needles in there. It is Las Vegas.
And this is the first match doesn't indicate it, but this has Russo written all over it. It is a train wreck of a match.
I wrote literally "fuck this match" in my notes. Yeah, it's terrible. And can we skip to the finish?
Okay, so eventually, before we get necessarily remember Hugh Morris. They call Hugh Morris. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do the Stone Cold bit.
Why not?
But he does a no laughing matter to Conan through the table, and Conan clearly separates his shoulder.
Yep.
He is done.
I thought it was legit too.
Yeah, it is. It looks horrible. But that's not the worst part in this match, because backstage we get the Harlem Heat just going to town. It's Knobbs, right?
It's Knobs and both of the Harlem Heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. Let's keep it at 99.
Tell you some sucker. You go. Oh.
And so, like, and of course, immediately, even before we get to the back, the Havoc set is destroyed immediately.
Yeah. Match 2.
And I mean, even the commentators are laughing at just how cheaply made the tombstones are that they're beating each other with.
It's like something out of Plan 9. Yeah, they're just knocking them over like there's no problem.
I'm going to have a nice call out for a particular tombstone and camera shot later.
Do that.
If you know what I'm thinking about.
Because I was reading them too.
And there's a poorly timed one, which we'll discuss when the match happens.
The finish, though, we get to, and part 1 of 2 finishes here.
Right.
The first,
the one
finish,
that we see on camera and the one that we don't.
Go ahead and deliver what's the finish?
Well, he grabs a mummy.
And Sherry, that was sensational Sherry, obviously.
And he power slams the mummy like on top of him, and that's the finish. And then we hear the bell ring again as the Harlem Heat are walking to the ring.
Yeah, so Stevie Ray Neidhart.
The plot is none of our business.
It's so funny because somehow Kidman gets the roll up on Hugh Morris,
right?
And so they ring the bell,
which is implausible, by the way.
Right? Oh,
it's so stupid. But keep going.
They're immediately giving the belts to the Filthy Animals when Harlem Heat look visibly upset. So this is what I wonder. Like, so of course, like they take like all of like 2 minutes to figure out now the fact that, well, those guys, they kind of pinned them first back there. So Harlem Heat are the winners. They are rightfully given the belts. But doesn't this feel like the finish was supposed to be more simultaneous?
I feel like it was screwed up.
It was supposed to happen closer to the same time so that you could argue that. I mean, the thing is to execute that the timing, like unless
You
they
don't even know where the guy is.
I mean, unless could they see him on? I'm sure they had to have seen him on the Turner.
Well, I was wondering that too. But when you hear the pinfall happen with the Harlem Heat, you don't hear any crowd reaction.
That's right.
So I'm thinking, did they even see that?
They probably didn't. Then
Well, it was probably the same thing where we didn't see the other
Right.
pinfall. The crowd was only probably shown what was happening in the ring. Because people go to the back, obviously they're getting coffee in a street fight. You know, they're not actually going to do anything.
Conan, he's having a hard time getting out of the ring. The no laughing matter. Well, it wasn't one, folks, and the rest of the filthy animals, what's left of them, come and help Conan. Come and help.
Doesn't
Conan.
Ray come out and just stand there
just
and watch?
there. Well, then like we get Ray and Tori show up with concern. Yet another man down for the filthy animals. We've got one stable imploding. We've got we've got another one that's hitting the local ER soon enough. We're in the parking lot now, and the Flairs have arrived. Rick is armed with a crowbar, and David with despair and self-loathing.
The crowbar, the weapon of the night.
Yeah, there's this theme.
And
Ric
Flair is marching in hot. He is ready to go.
Yeah.
Why? We'll get to it soon, because in the ring, even faker Nirvana music hits. And
What is that? WWE, really?
This smells like someone ate Teen Spirit, I guess, is what this is. This is.
They could have used "Smells Like Nirvana" and it would have been acceptable. I mean, I don't know what the hell this song was.
Well, it was the cover of DDP's cover, because for some reason
Did he use in
that's like-
WWE?
If you notice, like, and now if seeing other things on the network with DDP in this era, if there's ever a moment where they play the music for 5 seconds and then like a beatdown starts and the music would kill off how it normally would, they don't play the even faker Nirvana. You hear self high five.
I heard that.
You hear it. You hear it. And but anyway, we've got a heel Diamond Dallas Page. I'd forgotten.
Don't
he
like
was,
heel Diamond Dallas Page.
Never have.
Nope.
And walking the ring with Kimberly, who is always cold wherever she goes.
I was watching this with a lot of drunk people that happened to notice that Kimberly's left nipple was like a lazy eye. It just kind of kept going and looking in its own direction.
I was wondering if she had something in the
A bun in the oven?
Yeah, a bun. A bun in the oven? No.
Turkey's done. Is that what you're going with? She's pregnant. Her boob is funny. That's not where babies go. You're getting ready to have one. I hope you know this.
The build here is Page is coming out. He's cutting a promo on the Flairs because on the Nitro previous, mind you, the debut of the Russo Ferrara era, Kimberly entices a very impressionable David Flair to come up to the hotel room where she's up there, scantily clad, but guess who opens the door but the 14th time? And oh my God, Ric Flair goes nuts. He
defies physics. When I saw this clip, I thought it was a gift because, you know, there's those guys that like to just show the old stuff where he comes out and goes for the bed bounce like he's going to lay it out and immediately is sprung right back into position. That was not a gift. That was the magic of Flair.
It looks like he was in the hotel bar like an hour beforehand, just knocking him back, getting ready for this.
So happy that Bischoff's not working there anymore. I mean, Ric Flair's on another planet on this show.
And so we get DDP, the king of the stop plosives, as we have billed him throughout our theater career.
What? I need a little. Give us a backstory on this.
Tell him what a stop plosive.
Well, a stop plosive is when you're hitting your consonants.
Just punching the living hell out of them, and DDP is the king of doing that.
There you go.
He says the whole hotel gig was a swerve, and that there was a bigger plan in motion. And this is where DDP's wordplay here gets interesting. First of all, he calls David Flair Davy Boy, which feels weird because
I don't like it.
there's only one Davey Boy in wrestling, and it's certainly not loathing and despair David Flair. So the crowd is giving tons of heat. They're all over Page because he's talking about how, because I think we even get Kimberly who chimes in about the fact that Flair spanked her 14 times, and then DDP's like, all you could do was spank her 14 times.
You looked at that, and all you could do was spank it. And like, oh Jesus!
So then
Russo.
we get into the wordplay that has the masturbatory allusions to it, talking about
What is it?
well, he.
Let's go on. I'm interested.
Why don't you give me a little insight? He asked, like, the idea is they want to amp up their match and make it a strap match. And so DDP starts to talk about, he asks Ric Flair if he wants to spank him, Diamond Dallas Page, and get jacked in a strap match. Oh, and whack it as well. That is thrown in there for good measure. Why not? Cover the bases. Thank you, Russo. Promo over.
Well, let's not forget
What
the
a mess.
seemingly awkward while he's, do you want to get spanked and jacked? I thought he was pulling his belt off to, like, accentuate. And the belt just kept coming and coming. And I thought, like, is it hung on a loop? Did he try to take it off backwards? No, it's the strap. 12 feet of leather stuffed in this man's pants.
So
Where did it go? Where did it come from?
it came from Stamford, Connecticut. This was the plan. So we have, that's going to be our match. Ric Flair and DDP, a strap match later on. So now, if we're not thinking about if we're thinking about it as if we're saying it, wow, that's 3 pretty good matches that we're looking forward to.
Oh, there's no doubt. This is a great card.
Card is the word.
Card.
Subject to change doesn't mean the people.
Right. No, that's true. Because I want to emphasize that real quick. WCW, it was very obvious to me while watching this show. WCW was loaded with talent. Loaded. Like WWE, like in the future, I can only assume would kill to have a talent roster like this.
Right. I mean, because
Is that in your almanac?
make like a tree and leave.
Sound like a damn fool when you said it wrong.
I just feel like that when I leave, Hill Valley's going to be a different place, and my principal's going to be patrolling the streets trying to tell people they're late for class.
But Sammy Hagar music will still be playing.
And my mom will have rockin' tits.
In the back, Goldberg is walking with demands as to where Sid Vicious is. Still in the back, we've got, it's Eddie G. Eddie Guerrero with Mike the Muscle Tenay.
I bet he knows where Eddie's from.
All parties are going to be banned from ringside as Eddie and Saturn go at it tonight. It's the revolution against the Filthy Animals, or what's left of both of them. I say that as Fred Willard because that's how it feels.
It's sad to believe that in some countries, most of these dogs are eaten.
The battle of weak and crumbling stables rages on. It's coming to a climax.
Oh,
Not yet.
another sexual pun, folks.
Saturn and Eddie G set for action here. Eddie G in the ring. Hard to tell who the face and heel is here as well because
None of our business.
Just enjoy what you're going to get.
But at least, that's the thing. Like, regardless of that fact, it is Eddie Guerrero. It is Perry Saturn. 2 guys who, if you put me in a WCW NWO revenge game and I got either one of these guys in a battle royal, I'd be happy.
Oh, Eddie was phenomenal in those games.
Perry Saturn was like my
Perry's
favorite.
Rings of Saturn and the Death Valley Drive. You're right. I used to use Saturn a lot.
Because he could do the moonsaults, he could do the suicide dives, he had all of the light heavyweight moves, but then he had the power moves.
Right.
I
love these guys.
Yeah.
And this was a good match.
Do you remember? Remember before the match, Eddie Guerrero takes the Rolex that he stole.
Oh, the fuck!
Was that Flair's Rolex?
Yeah. So again, we're already seeing how storylines are all over the place. They're all interweaving in and out, but not necessarily in good form.
But they all join in at the commentators' table.
There's a huge amount of discombobulation because it seems like everyone is out to fuck everyone else over.
Right.
It's like a bad movie in the 90s where like, oh, we got to get that kind of Reservoir Dogs ending where
everyone's down. Yeah, so Eddie Guerrero at some point steals Ric Flair's Rolex, which he brings to ringside and puts in the careful hands of Bobby